All right, are we live? All right, we are live. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitz TV here, aka G-Lord33. I am back here tonight, guys, with another episode of the Legit Shoot podcast. Here with your Monday Night Raw review and results for October 5th, 2020. Thank you guys, as always, for joining me. I know what you guys are thinking. You know, I am in a different environment today. I am at work, but I had to record in a different location. This place isn't, the best lighting, so forgive me about that. All right, but still giving you guys the podcast as normal, as you guys always expect. But hopefully you guys forgive me for that. But either way, that's not gonna stop us from doing what we do here. Another edition of Monday Night Raw, another trash. Yes, this show was not good at all tonight, and I hope that shows in the ratings. It better be a 1.5 because Monday Night Raw these last couple of weeks has been absolutely awful, repetitive bullcrap. This show was not good tonight, guys. It was not good at all. And I don't listen to the casual idiots, bro. This show was not good, man. And I'm so happy that we have a draft starting Friday. Day one of the draft is on Friday. SmackDown, Sasha Banks and Bayley. And then Monday, we have the second edition of Monday Night Raw as well. Or the second day of the draft on Monday Night Raw. So hopefully these rosters get a big change because they need it. They really do need it. Hopefully, let me know if you guys can hear me good. I'm using my other mic today, and you guys see I'm in a different location. But this show was not good. There was only one good thing. There was only one good thing on this show tonight, and it was that Mustafa Ali has been revealed as the leader of Retribution, which I think is actually great. But other than that, there was nothing else that was good on the show. Women's Tag Team Championship match, disappointing. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, even though I love both men, I'm tired of this feud. They even fucked up Kevin Owens and The Fiend. Like, there was legit nothing good on this show. Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, and still feuding with the Mysterio family, terrible. Honestly. Thank God we have a draft. These rosters need the biggest refresh in the world. Lana getting destroyed for a third straight week because of her relationship with Rusev. And I do not want to hear people saying, I'm not a fan of Lana to begin with, but I don't want people saying, they're just trying to make Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler look like beasts. No, they are legit punishing Lana because Rusev has been burying WWE in every single interview he's been in since signing with AEW. Any chance Rusev gets, he is burying WWE, and they're making Lana suffer for it. All right, there's no reason for Lana to get put through a table. They're doing the same spot 3 weeks in a row. I do not want to hear that. Do not want to hear that at all. All right. Jacob Myers, I don't know. I think you're a new subscriber. I think I recognize you from one of the other videos. All right, so definitely, if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the family, bro. As always, guys, thank you guys for joining me here on the podcast. And hopefully next week we'll be back in our normal location. I know the video quality isn't the best today. I'm in a weird location today, but so forgive me for that. But a couple of quick things, all right? Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, all right, I have a special episode of the Legit Shoot podcast coming out. Tomorrow morning, we are going to be doing WWE draft mock predictions. I did this last year when we had the WWE draft, and you guys loved it. So since we have the draft on Friday, we are going to be doing a mock draft, all right? I'm going to have all this main roster superstars and the NXT superstars. I will be telling you who's going to be going to Raw, who's going to be going to SmackDown, who's staying on which brand, who's getting called up from NXT, and the way I would do these rosters. Also on tomorrow's podcast, we are going to be talking about Sasha Banks and Bayley a little bit more. I'm going to be updating my fantasy booking. I did a fantasy booking video on Sasha Banks and Bayley a couple weeks ago, which you guys loved. Since the WWE draft is this week, plus we have Sasha and Bayley facing off for the SmackDown Women's Championship this Friday on SmackDown, I feel like I need to update my fantasy booking a little bit. And I know there's some people that have been complaining that WWE is rushing. They're rushing the Sasha Banks and Bayley feud. And yes, I find that as understandable. I still think there is a way for WWE to get this feud from this Friday with the championship match we're going to get all the way home to WrestleMania 37, which is going to be in Tampa next year. All right. So definitely I am excited for that. All right. But yeah, definitely, you guys. If you guys are new to the podcast, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button. Let me know that you guys are new in the chat, no matter if you guys are in the live chat right now or you guys are watching on demand. I love interacting with the subscribers. Thank you guys, as always, for all of the support. All right, but definitely, we're gonna get into Monday Night Raw tonight. The show was garbage. Just because I'm in a good mood and I'm not ripping this to shreds right off the bat doesn't mean the show was good tonight. This show was awful. All right, it's the same repetitive crap we've been getting. It really just feels like they just don't care. It honestly feels like they just don't care anymore, for real. Because, man, I don't understand it. You have the Patriots versus the Chiefs tonight. My Patriots got destroyed by Patrick Mahomes. Cam Newton didn't play because, he tested positive for COVID. Hopefully he gets healthy and well. I can't say the same for Donald Trump, man. If he died from COVID, I don't know. I wouldn't feel that bad. But anyway, my Pats got destroyed tonight because, playing Jason Stidham and Brian Hoyer. Oh man, that was tough to watch. And the Packers are destroying the Falcons right now, man. So I expect the ratings to be trash. Not just one, but 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. And you give us that kind of trash Monday Night Raw, yeah, I expect the ratings to be bad. All right, but definitely Edward Molina, or hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Edward Melendez. Hopefully I said that right, Melendez. New to the channel, thank you, bro. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the family, man. I think you're gonna enjoy your time here, man. We got a lot of pretty cool people in the chat, man. This is a pro Sasha Banks channel. We do talk a lot about Sasha on here, so just letting you know. But welcome to the family, bro. But either way, guys, let's get into Monday Night Raw. I don't want to go an hour tonight like I usually do. I want to get through this show as quick as possible because they don't put no care in the Monday Night Raw. I'm not going to, spend an hour on here talking about this garbage, right? Tomorrow's podcast will probably be longer than tonight's Raw review because tomorrow we're going to be doing the draft predictions. We're going to be talking about Sasha and Bayley. Should be a good time, all right? But definitely, the show opened up. They replayed Randy Orton's attack on Big Show, Christian, Shawn Michaels, and Ric Flair from last week, where Randy Orton had the night goggles. Even though those night goggles weren't even real, they were fake goggles. My boy Sariak sent me a DM on Twitter of where they got Randy Orton's night goggles on Amazon. It was actually pretty funny. How cheap WWE is. They couldn't even get Randy Orton real night goggles. All right. But basically, Randy Orton started off the show, and he recapped his loss to Drew McIntyre. How instead of walking out of Clash of Champions WWE champion, he walked out of Clash of Champions in an ambulance. And I don't know why they had to recap this. The pay-per-view was over a week ago. Even if you didn't watch Clash of Champions, which I wouldn't blame you, even though Clash of Champions was a terrible show, but even if you didn't watch Clash of Champions, I feel like if you had cared about or even wanted to know what happened, you would have just went on social media, went on the internet, or just watched Monday Night Raw last week. I don't know why they waited till a week later to have Randy Orton recap something that happened 9 days before. All right, anyway. Then he recapped, after recapping last week's pay-per-view, he recapped last week's edition of Monday Night Raw. Showed basically him attacking the legends. He legit spent a good 5 minutes explaining what he did last week. Last week, when he re-entered the arena at the end of the show and he attacked the legends in the Legends Loud, right? That took all but 2 minutes. But yeah, Randy Orton took a good 5 minutes explaining the attack, going step by step what was going through his head and how he attacked each legend. Like, did we really need that? No, why are you insulting our intelligence? If we needed to know what Randy Orton did to the Legends last week, we would have either watched Monday Night Raw or we would have went on WWE's YouTube channel and saw the highlights ourselves. Alright? Anyway, who cares? So, he said, when I slid my night vision goggles on, I was surprised he was able to say that with a straight face, because we all know those damn night goggles were freaking fake. Absolutely ridiculous. We all know those goggles were not real. Don't mess with us. Don't mess with us, clown. Anyway, all right. So he went over the attack, which was ridiculous. And the end, this ridiculous promo, all right, he issued a challenge for a match for one last WWE Championship match. One last WWE title match. He issued a challenge for October 25th, him versus Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell. We already kind of knew this was happening. We're getting Roman Reigns versus Jay Uso. That's not a Hell in a Cell match, even though we're all waiting to figure out what kind of stakes are going to be in this match, because Roman Reigns said, oh, this match is going to have the most stakes in WWE history. Yeah, right. All right, that's just ridiculous marketing. Just like Randy Orton versus Edge, greatest wrestling match ever, right? Yeah, those were the biggest stakes in WWE history. You can miss me with that, all right? Miss me with that bullcrap. Anyway, man, he issued the challenge. It's been rumored that we're gonna get Sasha Banks and Bayley at Hell in a Cell as the main event, which should be the main event. All right, I have no problem with that being the main event. It's freaking Sasha Banks, the best female wrestler in the world, and we know Sasha and Bayley have the best story going on in the entire company at the moment. All right, so it's deserving of being the Hell in a Cell main event. All right, I would pick Sasha Banks and Bayley being the main event of Hell in a Cell over Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton any day in the week and twice on Sundays. Don't play with me with that. All right. Anyway. So I'm not surprised that this was the match that they announced for Hell in a Cell. And then afterwards, McIntyre burst into the room wearing a black tank top like he was some kind of protagonist out of Fast and Furious, right? Bursts in the room. This looked bad. And then he just, decided to jump on Randy Orton and say, you're going to pay for what you did to the legends. All right, really? So let me get this straight. Clash of Champions, you have the ambulance match. You have all the legends returned, getting their payback on Randy Orton. All right, Drew McIntyre punched Randy Orton, puts him in the ambulance. Right. So then last week you have Randy Orton attack all of the legends. He attacks all the legends. Okay. And then what? Drew McIntyre last week, who was sitting in the ring with all these legends. Big Show, who he had just faced at WrestleMania early in the year. Shawn Michaels, who was his trainer all those years ago. Ric Flair, one of his idols, right? And Christian, someone who he was on the road with all those years ago. Even though I doubt that, all right, but whatever. All right, and now what? Just because Randy Orton attacked them using night goggles, you're all pissed off? Really? Really, Drew? You're that pissed? Because of a little night goggle attack? Like, this dude, Drew McIntyre, looked like Randy Orton had go murdered his wife or something like that. That's how mad Drew McIntyre looked. He's over here breathing heavy, has an angry look on his face. I'm just like sitting there like, really, bro? Really, bro? I understand, yes, you want to whoop Randy Orton's ass, but it looked ridiculous. It actually looked ridiculous, man. I don't know. I don't know. Christopher Carter says, wait, so Mustafa Ali is the leader of Retribution? Well, what the fuck? Yeah, we'll get to that. That was the only good part of the show, bro. That was the only good part of the show. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But as much as I love Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, I'm over this feud. Raise your hand. Leave a like on the video if you agree with me. I'm over this. I love Randy Orton. I love Drew McIntyre. But you legit had Drew McIntyre hit Randy Orton with a Claymore kick, and then proceed to do Randy Orton's own move, the punt kick, throw his ass in the ambulance. I'm sorry, but this feud should be over. The only way you're doing this match at Hell in a Cell is if Randy Orton is actually winning the title. Because I legit thought Orton was winning the title at Clash of Champions, and then that would make a little more sense for us to get a match at Hell in a Cell, ending the feud inside Hell in a Cell. But the feud should have been ended at Clash of Champions the way you had McIntyre win. He won in dramatic fashion. That should have been it. But instead, you're dragging this on the Hell in a Cell. And I'm not saying it's not going to be a good match. It's Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. But honestly, if Randy Orton's not winning the WWE Championship, which at this point I don't even know anymore, then it's just stupidity. This Randy Orton promo to start the show was not good. I didn't enjoy it. I love Randy Orton on the mic, but it's just ridiculous. You think just because Randy Orton is amazing on the mic, you can have him come out every single week and say whatever, say something random, and then we're all going to buy in because it's Randy Orton. Randy Orton's great on the mic, but what you did tonight to start the show was absolutely ridiculous. It was nonsensical, it was bullcrap, and it was just a waste of time if you ask me. And it honestly was a waste of time. Alright? I'm looking in the chat real quick. Cameron Cherry and Don White. I see you guys in the chat. Let me know if you guys are new. Like I said, I love seeing new people in the chat. I love everyone that's here every single week. You guys are the loyal subscribers. You guys keep us going. But I love seeing new people in the chat, bro. So if you guys are new, let me know who you guys are. And if you guys are new subscribers, I love getting to know you guys, all right? But definitely getting back into it, bro. Like I said, I was not a fan of this to start the show. I'm pretty much over this feud. The only way this match should be happening is if Orton wins the title. If Orton does not win the title, man, I'm going to absolutely rip this to shreds at come hell to sell. I don't care how much I love Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. All right, moving on. First match of the night, we had Asuka, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke versus Zelina Vega, Natalya, and Lana in 6-woman tag action. At first, I thought this was a repeat of Lana and Natalya versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke from last week. Luckily, I was wrong. All right, I love seeing Zelina Vega in the ring. I'm glad that she's actually getting, at least we're seeing her more in the ring often. I hope we see more of Zelina Vega. I'm telling you guys, Zelina Vega is talented. She really is, man. Not only is she beautiful, she's great on the mic, but she has in-ring skill. She's just a little bit small, but hopefully WWE continues to use her because she is talented. I'm happy that Zelina Vega is actually getting a little bit of shine. Even though it didn't make any sense for her to face Asuka the last couple of weeks, it is good to see that. All right. Anyway, getting back into it. We had a 6-woman tag team match. Wasn't anything special. All right. Basically, I'm trying to look at my notes because I was barely paying attention. I was mainly watching the Pats get destroyed by the Chiefs. But basically, we saw Zelina. She wore Mandy Rose down with submission holds. Then Vega took another cheap shot at Asuka. I don't know why. I don't know if Zelina and Asuka, that's gonna be the match for Hell in a Cell. Honestly, I don't want to say anything because we don't know with the WWE draft happening. We do not know. These rosters are going to look completely different. Thank God. Thank God the roster is going to look completely different in a week. But we have no idea what's going to happen with the draft. We have no idea. So I don't want to say Zelina and Asuka's going to continue because even though it doesn't make any sense because Asuka made Zelina tap out clean twice. All right, but anyway, Zelina took a cheap shot at Asuka. Then we saw Mandy Rose. She tagged herself into the match. She hit Lana with a jumping knee strike for the pinfall victory. I actually like Rose's jumping knee strike. I don't know. It looks like they're possibly building up Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke for a potential tag team championship match with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, which I'm not against. I don't like Dana Brooke, but I'd rather have her in the tag team division than ever going after a singles championship. So it's whatever at this point. But yeah, they got the win. After the match, we saw as the baby faces left, we saw the heels, Natalya, Lana, and Zelina Vega. They were in the ring, and then Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler came out. Zelina Vega ran, being a smart heel. Natalya and Lana, being dumbasses, decided to take their time getting out of the ring, and then Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler stared them down. Natalya tried to fight off Nia, but Nia pushed her, and instead, Lana actually she actually put herself on the line. She sacrificed herself to save her buddy Natalya. And what did Lana get? She got a Samoan drop through a table for the 3rd straight week. I don't know what's happening right now. Honestly, I don't know why. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Lana at all. You guys know this. But I don't think it's fair for her to get treated like this just because her husband, Rusev, a.k.a. Muriel on AEW, decides to shit on the company every single day. Honestly, it's not fair. Ooh, my boy Todd Gurley going off. Todd Gurley giving me those fantasy points. Anyway, my boy texting me. What the hell is this? What the hell? Transgender people be like, you're never going to accept me for who I am. Haha, that's funny. Anyway, my bad. I got distracted for a second. Any distraction is better than Monday Night Raw. Am I right, guys? Anyway, I don't understand. I know I don't like Lana, But it's very disrespectful, and there's nothing Lana can do about it because her stupid ass decided to sign a 5-year extension with WWE. So she's not getting out of her contract anytime soon. She just has to sit there and take it. She can't say anything about it. She's getting paid for this. But it shows you that WWE are complete assholes. Just because Rusev continues to go on interviews and calls WWE disgraceful. And I don't know if you guys saw earlier in the weekend, Rusev went on a podcast and he absolutely ripped WWE to shreds. Ripped them to shreds for how he was treated when he was there. With the whole Rusev Day gimmick and all these other things. And the thing is, honestly, man, I understand Rusev. You want people to know how WWE treated you. You want to make a statement, but at the end of the day, just shut your mouth. Do what you gotta do in AEW. Stop mentioning WWE. Stop mentioning Vince. All right. And I'm not defending WWE here. I'm just saying, care about your wife, because your wife's gonna keep getting treated like trash. This is not gonna end. Alright, I thought maybe 1 or 2 weeks, okay, fine, message clear. This is the 3rd straight week that they've done this. It's disrespectful to Lana, even though I don't care about her, but it's disrespectful at the end of the day. And if Rusev just keeps talking, if Rusev wants to keep making headlines with his mouth, his wife's gonna, pay for it on WWE TV. Alright? And it has to be embarrassing for Lana to go home and be like, oh, I'm getting treated like this because you keep, ripping the company. Alright, like I said, I am not a fan of Lana. I'm just, trying to be fair here. Alright? I'm just trying to be fair here, alright? So hopefully you guys can agree with me on that. Alright, Dona White says, yeah, I searched up. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I searched some Sasha Banks rants because WWE always does her dirty and your videos pop up. LOL. Yeah, bro, I am the king of Sasha Banks rants because she is the best female wrestler in the world. That's funny. People, my videos pop up when you type in Sasha Banks rants. Yeah. There's probably a lot on there. We've done a lot in the last couple of years, bro. But hey, man, it brings real Sasha Banks fans to the channel. So definitely, man, I guess we gotta keep doing them. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, yeah, but Rusev, man, stop talking about, stop ripping WWE because your wife's gonna continue to pay. WWE's clearly not gonna stop, burying Lana if as long as you continue to keep talking, man. All right, but that's my thoughts on that. Not that I care, but just we gotta mention it since it happened on tonight's show. All right, next up we had Dominic Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. Bro, I'm like, this is one of the reasons why we need a draft so badly. How many times I say this every week on the podcast? Every week. How many times do we see a combination of Seth Rollins and Murphy going up against either Dominic and Rey Mysterio, Dominic and Humberto Carrillo, before Aleister Black turned heel, Dominic and Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black? It's the same shit over and over and over again, bro. It's ridiculous. It really is. I'm so sick and tired of this. So sick and tired. And even though I do think the story, what they're doing, clearly Buddy Murphy is going to turn babyface. All right, they're clearly leading to Buddy Murphy turning babyface, and I can tell you need more babyfaces now. You're seeing on Raw, there's a lot more heels than babyfaces right now. All right, Drew McIntyre, other than Keith Lee, Drew McIntyre is the only top babyface in the Raw division. You've turned Aleister Black heel. You turned Mustafa Ali heel, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You turn Cedric Alexander heel. You have the Hurt Business. You have Randy Orton, right? You have Andrade. You have Angel Garza. You have Seth Rollins. You have a lot of heels on Raw and not a lot of baby faces. All right, so I definitely think, Buddy Murphy turning babyface, that could be, good for him. And clearly they're setting up for Seth Rollins to be taken off TV because we know that Seth's going to be leaving the company to have his baby in a couple of months. We know Becky's due in December, and we're already in October. It's crazy, man. Like I said, time is going by fast. Becky was revealed pregnant in, April, right? And then she dropped the title in May. So, it's just crazy to me how fast time goes, man. All right, but anyway, then clearly you can see where the story is going. Before the match, all right. Anyway, we had a video package that showed the whole Mysterio family drama. Then we saw, Rollins wanted the mic from Murphy because Murphy was holding it and he refused to give it to the Messiah. All right, I'm looking in the chat right now. Snippy, Humberto is a loser yet again on taking the pin. That's funny, bro. You're right. You're right on that. But anyway, yeah, Murphy had the mic in his hand, and he demanded an apology from Rollins if he was to remain the Monday Night Messiah's disciple. All right. Anyway, what I like this. I did like how this, because Rollins took the mic, and he clearly was not going to give Buddy Murphy the apology, especially being the heel. He's like, who do you think you're talking to? I'm the Messiah, you're the disciple. He kept repeating it over and over and over again, and I was like, Buddy Murphy has to snap at some point. He keeps being looked at as Seth Rollins' bitch. Rollins keeps thinking that Murphy is his bitch at the end of the day. For real. Like, I don't understand it. So at the end of the day, Murphy's going to get frustrated with Seth eventually to the point where he's going to have enough. And he's going to turn on Rollins, which we would see a little bit later on in the show. So then, Mysterio and Mysterio and Humberto come out, and they start attacking the heels, trying to take advantage of the situations. All right. And as the match went on, Rollins deemed Murphy on more than one occasion as he worked over Dominic in the corner. Rollins kept saying, I tag you in when I say so. He kept saying, I'm the Messiah, you're the disciple. All right, which I kind of like. Seth's, doing a good job here with the character. It's just that the storytelling, especially with this Rey Mysterio feud, is just so dry. So dry, man, and overplayed. All right. Anyway, hot tag to Carrillo after the break sparked the comeback. But then Murphy with a beautiful mid-air knee strike. All right. He knocked out Humberto. Ice cold Humberto looks like a loser yet again on WWE television. Absolutely hilarious. Hilarious. All right. All right, and then Murphy after the match said, you don't need my help. All right, you don't need my help. And then he walked out and he left Rollins behind. And that would be saved on for later in the night. All right, and let me see. Let me look at my Bleacher Report notes real quick. Let's see if we can talk about it now. I would rather get it out of the way now and not waste our time. All right, but anyway, yes, later on in the night, all right, Seth Rollins issued a 10 o'clock deadline for Murphy to come to the ring and apologize for him. So Murphy wanted Seth Rollins to apologize for what he said about Alea, showing the DMs and all that other stuff. Rollins wanted an apology from Murphy for disrespecting him because Rollins is still playing the whole, I'm the Messiah, you're the disciple type stuff. All right, and basically instead of saving this for next week, making you wait to see what's going to unfold in the storytelling, of course WWE has no patience at all. Look at, we're getting Sasha Banks and Bayley on SmackDown on free TV because WWE doesn't want to wait till Hell in a Cell. So instead, later on the night, they have this segment come out, and basically Rollins comes back out demanding Murphy apologizes. All right, he kept going off on Murphy, saying you have seen firsthand what happens to people who stand in the way of the greater good. And then he took credit for taking Murphy out from obscurity and growing him more. And then Rollins got more and more pissed the longer that Murphy went without apologizing. All right, but eventually Murphy finally grows a backbone, and then we see Rollins grabs a hold of his beard and demanded an apology, but Murphy responded by grounding his tag team partner and mentor and started pounding away with him. So then Rollins and Murphy start brawling. So finally, Murphy grows a pair of balls and starts attacking Seth Rollins. I really did enjoy this, alright? Takes a candlestick and he strikes Rollins all around the ring. Murphy's demanding that Rollins apologize. So this isn't Murphy turning on Seth. He just, he wants to beat the hell out of Rollins, so he'll apologize. So after beating him with the candlestick enough, Rollins finally did apologize, alright? So that was kind of cool. And then Rollins said, I didn't mean to bring her into this. And then and Rollins kept saying, Murphy, stop it, you've done enough. Alright, but then Murphy stopped, but instead Rollins took advantage. He put his thumb in Murphy's eye and attacked him with a candlestick. So a little bit of a role reversal. So bashing him with the weapon about the body, breaking it over his knees and his shins. Rollins didn't grab the chair, but then Alea comes out and appeared begging him to stop. So Rollins stops the attack, so he listened to Alea here and spared Murphy. But then Dominic and Rey Mysterio come out, and then they're confused. They're mad at Alea for putting herself in danger. Coming out there alone with Seth in the ring. All right, and they all they escorted Alea back to backstage area after the break. So they're really playing on this whole Alea Buddy Murphy romance thing. I don't hate it. I just hate how long this storyline with Mysterio and Rollins and Murphy has dragged. It's been going on since WrestleMania, right? It's been legit a full 6 months. All right, but clearly, Murphy's turning babyface, and I think Murphy's going to be the one to take out Seth Rollins. All right, take him off TV. Maybe Seth gets drafted to SmackDown. We'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow with the WWE draft predictions. All right, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I can definitely see Murphy turning babyface and maybe potentially Rollins getting sent to SmackDown. I don't know yet, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. BIH in the chat says JD wannabe 206. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I am a big fan of JD. I don't watch JD as much as I used to, just because JD's live streams go on for almost like 3 hours. So I don't have time to sit around and listen to a 3-hour podcast. I'm sorry. All right, but I will say I am a big fan of JD, and he was part of the inspiration for me starting this podcast. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. You guys know I am brutally honest with you guys. All right, JD and BCM Fight. Those are easily my favorite podcasters. All right. Larry Ethers says, bro. What up, bro? I'm like, what? Are you the new Matt Riddle? Are you the Matt Riddle of the chat now? Just gonna say, bro. All right. Anyway, back to Monday Night Raw. Like I said, I'm looking at it, bro. The chat's really active tonight. I love that. I love getting new subscribers. Love seeing new people joining our movement, bro. All right. But yeah, now that we talked about that, I'm just ready for this storyline to end. I really am ready for this storyline to end. All right. We had Kevin Owens. He called out Bray Wyatt on the KO show. If you guys didn't watch SmackDown, they had a really good segment with KO, The Fiend, and Alexa Bliss. Alexa finally joined The Fiend fully, and we also saw The Fiend put KO in the mandible claw. I don't know what's that supposed to mean, because I thought The Fiend was supposed to be a babyface now. All right, but I don't know. Maybe they're going back to him being a heel. They're clearly not doing the Fiend Roman Reigns program. We may not even be seeing it now, because there's rumors saying that The Fiend could possibly go into Monday Night Raw. And I think they are setting up for The Fiend to go to Monday Night Raw and KO to be sent to SmackDown. All right. Basically, Owens, and you guys know I love KO. I just wish he was booked a little bit better. This guy should be in the main event fighting for championships. And what I'm hoping is, and this is a little bit of a spoiler for the draft prediction show tomorrow, but I am hoping that KO gets drafted to SmackDown. I am hoping he gets drafted to SmackDown, and we see him, feud with, Roman Reigns or Sami Zayn, or maybe even AJ Styles. There's some really good promos or really good programs you can do with KO over on the SmackDown side. I think it's time for KO to get back in the main event scene. All right. But in terms of tonight, Owens openly questioned why, so many people, so many tortured souls like Aleister Black and Bray Wyatt have issues with him, all right? So then Wyatt finally appeared, from the Firefly Funhouse. I wish he kind of, it would have been a little bit more enjoyable if he appeared actually in the ring, but he was there via the Firefly Funhouse. All right, but anyway, Wyatt went on and on talking about having friends, and he also had like a little bit of a song about friendship. Owens didn't join into the song. Owens wanted answers on what was the relationship between Alexa Bliss and The Fiend. Then Wyatt got a little bit serious and said the world would know Friday night on SmackDown. We are going to get KO versus The Fiend on SmackDown, which should be interesting, and definitely, Alexa Bliss, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of her, but I will say she's doing the best character work of her career right now. So definitely that's going to be interesting for SmackDown on Friday. KO said, I'm not waiting until Friday night on SmackDown. If you're not coming to me, I'm coming to you. So they teased KO going to the Firefly Funhouse, but instead he walked right into an attack by Aleister Black, who hit him with a black mask. I don't know why they're continuing this feud. KO defeated Aleister Black clean on Raw a couple weeks ago. They did another match between these two on Raw Underground, and last week KO beat Aleister Black via disqualification. I don't know why. They're just making Aleister Black look stupid because they're making it look like he has some kind of obsession with KO. The feud should be over. In the draft, you need to separate these two. I am tired of seeing it. I like Aleister Black, but they fucked him up. They changed the theme song. They have him wearing black leather pants like he's in a motorcycle gang. The bandana, the contact, is all ridiculous. You fucked up Aleister Black. That should have never been turned heel to begin with. Alright? And now you're just making him look like a petty idiot by having him attack KO yet again. Separate these two in the draft. Alright? I'm tired of seeing it. Alright? I think Aleister Black probably stays on Monday Night Raw. KO goes to SmackDown. Alright? So I'm already spoiling some of the stuff that should be safe for the draft predictions. But hey, man, it's sad. It's sad. Alright? BIH subscribed. Alright, I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the family, bro. Like I said, I love seeing new subscribers, man. Love it. Alright, I appreciate it, man. You will not be disappointed here. Alright, if you like JD, you're gonna like this podcast as well, man. We tell it like nobody else here in the community, so I do appreciate it. Welcome to the squad. Alright. And everybody in the chat, no matter if you guys are watching live or on demand, leave a like if you guys are enjoying the stream and the podcast so far. It helps me out a bunch, and it pushes out the podcast so we can educate more casuals in the community. All right, moving on. So Braun Strowman appeared on Monday Night Raw. There was no Raw Underground tonight for the second straight week. I'm not complaining. I don't care about Raw Underground. It's legit fake scripted MMA in WWE. All right. Like, I don't care about Raw Underground. I hope it stays gone. It should stay gone, all right? But, basically, we had Braun Strowman. He said that he didn't drive all this way for nothing. Either you were going to give me a match, he said to Adam Pearce, or I'm going to go wreck your entire locker room, all right? So, Adam Pearce said, I can give you an unsanctioned match. Okay, whatever. I like, really? Let's just say you can go in the ring and you can have any match. Like, really? We gotta call it an unsanctioned match? Like, legit, what's the difference between an unsanctioned match and a normal one-on-one match? There is no difference. Then it becomes like to say, we're not responsible whatever happens in this match since it's unsanctioned. Shut the hell up. That's a stupid term. It's a stupid term. Alright? You could have just said Braun Strowman will find you an opponent tonight. You didn't have to go give us this stupid-ass explanation saying, you're not on Monday Night Raw, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. Fuck off. There's no GMs. Who cares? Who honestly cares if Braun Strowman is on Monday Night Raw? Who cares? Jesus, bro. Anyway, getting back into it. So, I didn't know who Braun Strowman was going to face, but instead, we got Keith Lee. This was actually kind of interesting. Keith Lee's been on a winning streak of late, which I haven't been against, because you need to build up Keith Lee as one of your top stars. He's that good. We all know how good Keith Lee is. Even though I wish he wasn't wrestling in a singlet, even though I wish Keith Lee had his NXT theme song, but, I'm going to keep complaining until they change it, man. Like, did you guys see they also changed Buddy Murphy's theme song? Like, WWE, we're seeing more and more of these generic theme songs. Legit. I don't know who's making the theme songs. They need to be fired. I understand WWE is no longer with, CFO, but you need to hire somebody credible to come in and make new theme songs. Because these generic theme songs like you did for Keith Lee, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, they need to go. They need to go. They're absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous, bro. I absolutely hate these theme songs. Anyway, moving on. We had the match, right? So, if you guys remember in the Royal Rumble earlier this year, we had back when we still had fans. Remember those days when we had full crowds? We had that interaction between Keith Lee and Braun Strowman. And, this is a match that could be a feud. I'm not a big fan of Braun Strowman, but, I'm not against him feuding with Keith Lee. And I definitely think Braun Strowman is probably coming over to Monday Night Raw in the shakeup. He hasn't done anything on SmackDown since, he lost the Universal title. So I definitely think he's coming over to Monday Night Raw in the draft. But, if they put some backstory behind this could be a big money match on a pay-per-view, but instead, they just decided to give us this match for free. Why? Because we need ratings, even though we know this match didn't draw shit. So, Strowman rocked Lee with a drop kick that sent him to the floor. Then, we saw the Limitless One was sent outside the ring. The referee counted both men out. So, nice. So, you bring over Braun Strowman. You give us this big match, right, between Keith Lee and Strowman, right? First time ever. A big money match, and it ends in countdown in 2 minutes. What was the point of giving us the match in the first place? Really? I would much rather these two have a backstage brawl instead of having a match that ends in countout. Absolutely ridiculous, bro. Alright, so then Strowman, who was pissed off because of the countout, he sent Lee crashing through the guardrail. Lee recovered and launched himself off the steel ring steps onto his opponent. They brought up the ramp, and he sent Strowman into an LED board. And then he followed up by tackling the Monster Among Men off the stage through a table. Really? Look, clearly what's going to happen is Lee's staying on Monday Night Raw. He's not moving brands, right? He just got over the Monday Night Raw last month. And Strowman is clearly coming over to Raw via the WWE draft. That's clearly what's going to happen. These two are going to feud. I just wish you didn't try to give us a exhibition, unsanctioned, whatever you want to call it. You didn't have to do this. You really didn't. This was garbage. Alright? You could have just, I would have rather you guys here have done a backstage brawl or actually waited till Strowman came over through the draft. Because Strowman should be used to put Keith Lee over. Because he clearly was going to be one of the next big stars of Monday Night Raw. Clearly. But instead you gave us this, whatever this was tonight. I don't know what this was. I really don't know what this was. Moving on. We had Apollo Cruz and Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley and Sultan Benjamin. Alright, clearly, thank God we have a draft, because hopefully this is the last time we have to see this garbage. Alright, how many times since WrestleMania, since this whole pandemic started, have we seen Apollo, going up against someone from the Hurt Business? Way too many times. So tonight, it was Apollo and Ricochet. Like, we haven't seen that one before, right? Going up against Lashley and Sultan Benjamin. The match wasn't anything. Alright. But before the match, MVP did reveal that he had offered one of the three men a spot in the Hurt Business. So it looked like they teased that Ricochet could be potentially joining the group, but they didn't. Alright, Ricochet passed on the offer. Basically, the match wasn't anything special. I'm not going to talk about the match because we've seen this match God knows how many times since April. Right? So, anyway, Lashley put Apollo in the Hurt Lock. How many times have we seen that in the last couple months, right? This is the fourth or fifth time we've seen Lashley put Apollo in the Hurt Lock. Of course, Apollo tapped out, and that was that. Yeah, dumb. Doing the same thing. The definition of stupid is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. A.K.A. Apollo Cruz versus the Hurt Business. Absolutely retarded. Alright. Ricochet, legit. Ricochet said, we're going to keep coming back till you're tired of us. Oh, scary. I don't think Bobby Lashley's going to get tired of putting your ass in the Hurt Lock. Clown. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, but backstage, Ali said he was going to take out all 3 members of the Hurt Business, and he challenged the Hurt Business to a match. All right, so this was easily the best part of the show, and I am so happy that Ali is finally getting some spotlight. I've been one of the only people in the community who have been rooting for Mustafa Ali all year. How many times on this podcast did I say, Mustafa Ali, where are you? He should be used because he's one of the most talented men in the entire company. The WWE is not using. I am so happy with what they did tonight. I don't know if WWE is going to, make it look good going forward, but I am happy with what they did tonight. So, basically, Ali challenged MVP to a singles contest. As Ali built momentum for himself, we saw Benjamin and Lashley hop into the ring. But then the lights went off, only for Retribution to appear. All right, at the beginning, I was like, oh no, here we go, right? Here we go. No, it looked like Ali was going to stand alongside the Hurt Business in a fight against the Invaders. Ali rolled out of the ring, and he ordered T-Bar, Mason, Slapjack, and company to attack the Hurt Business. It's still ridiculous that, it's cringe as hell that here we are in 2020 and WWE deciding to name these guys T-Bar, Slapjack, and Mace. Alright, I'm not letting WWE go on that, but whatever. But anyway, Retribution beat the hell out of MVP, Benjamin, and Lashley, and then they joined Ali in the middle of the ring. Alright? Tom Phillips won probably the line of the night. He said he doesn't look like he's joining Retribution. Mustafa Ali looks like he's running Retribution. I love this. For weeks now, WWE has been trying to find, or they've been at least teasing who the leader of Retribution is. This is perfect. Alright? If there's anybody in WWE that, defines what Retribution is supposed to be doing, it's Mustafa Ali. If there's anybody who has enough against WWE to retribute or go against the system, it's Ali. He is one of the most talented guys in the company, right? He got called up from 205 Live to SmackDown. He was booked well for a couple of months, had some good matches against, Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton and AJ Styles, and then eventually he was taken off TV. He was taken off TV for a bunch of months, wasn't used, wasn't cared about, wasn't mentioned at all. And then me and along with a couple other podcasters, we're on here complaining, where the hell is Mustafa Ali? Where the hell is Mustafa Ali? Then Mustafa Ali comes back, you change his name from Mustafa Ali to just Ali, which we all noticed, and we called out WWE too. So they eventually changed it. Then, when the pandemic started, right, Mustafa Ali was missing once again, right? And then we had the hacker gimmick. The hacker gimmick, right? And everyone in their mamas knew that Ali was the hacker. Even though it was never revealed, we all knew Ali was the hacker. He wasn't used on WWE TV, right? After a couple weeks, after what happened with the whole Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose scandal, right, with Otis and Dolph Ziggler going to WrestleMania, once we had that big reveal, right, it was Sonya Deville and Dolph Ziggler who messed up Mandy Rose's date with Otis on Valentine's Day, right? The hacker gimmick just died. We never heard from it. It just died, all right? Even though we all knew it was Ali. Then Ali went to WWE management. He asked to be sent to Monday Night Raw because he wanted to work with Paul Heyman. So yes, his request was honored. And right after I don't know if it was I think it was SummerSlam. I think the night after SummerSlam, Ali made his return. He looked good for 2 weeks. Then he went missing once again. Right? He won a 6-man tag team match against the Hurt Business, and then he went missing. Instead of being booked on Monday Night Raw as one of the top baby faces, I said you should have done like an Ali versus, Seth Rollins feud, right? There was many different things you could have done with Ali. Instead, you put him on WWE main event, right? And then, Mustafa Ali, trying to stay positive, he called main event Ali. Even though we all knew deep down that Ali had to be frustrated for the way he was being treated. We all knew this. Everyone knew this, right? So then what happens? All right. Then what happens is Ali finally comes back a couple weeks ago, and we're just like, oh, it's the same old Ali. They're not going to do anything with him. But instead, you do this. This was fantastic. This is fantastic. All right? If anybody has a grip against WWE, if anybody makes sense to retribute and go against the system, which is WWE, is Ali. And this is perfect for him. Not only did you turn him heel tonight, but you made him the leader of Retribution. If you want, you can easily have Ali come out next week and say, I was also the hacker. There is so much you can do with this. Even though I'm afraid that WWE is going to fuck this up, I will give it a chance. I always give WWE a chance, even though most of the time they fuck up. They really do. But Mustafa Ali being revealed as the hacker, being revealed as the leader of Retribution makes perfect sense and was easily the best thing on this show. Yes, do I think WWE's probably going to fuck it up in the long run? Sure. But for right now, I'll give it a shot. Even though right now you need more baby faces now. Because, like I said, WWE, the ratio between baby faces and heel on Raw right now is terrible. There's so many heels and very little baby faces. Hopefully that changes with the WWE draft. But still, man, I am happy with what they did with Ali tonight. Do I think WWE's probably going to fuck it up in the long run? Probably. But, I'll give it a shot. I will give it a shot. All right? Moving on. We had the women's tag team title match. This was the Riot Squad versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Remember, this match was supposed to take place at Clash of Champions, but there was a whole COVID outbreak, and I guess these superstars had close contact with those involved. So WWE wanted to keep these people special, or keep these people safe. All right. So anyway, they made the Riot Squad look like underdogs. They really did. And I know WWE is considering changing the Riot Squad name, so we'll have to see what happens with that. But basically, we saw basically she did that move where she she puts the arm in like the weird angle, all right, and then Riot did an amazing job selling it. And then we came back from the break. Baszler was going off with a lot of stiff kicks to Riot's chest. And then Riot was able to create an opening. She tagged in Liv Morgan for the hot tag. Liv unloaded on both Jax and Shayna. And basically, she went for her signature moves. But then the heels took the advantage. They worked over Morgan until Riot was able to get back into the match. All right. The match wasn't bad. I felt like these two teams could have gone for at least another 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes. Probably because Shayna Baszler is that good, and Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan are talented. Nia Jax sucks. There's your weekly Nia Jax sucks reference, but still, Baszler put I think it was Ruby. Yeah, Baszler put Ruby Riott in the careful clutch. Jax overpowered Morgan and forced her to watch the tap out. So the Riot Squad lose here. So I don't know. I don't know if the Riot Squad are going to get moved over to SmackDown. I can easily see this feud continuing. I do want to see the Riot Squad succeed. I want to see the Riot Squad win the tag team titles, but I could easily see WWE giving Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke a shock. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Not that I really care, but it's definitely something that could happen. So, definitely, it wasn't a bad match. I definitely think, they could have gone a little bit longer here, but it wasn't terrible. But we'll definitely have to see what happens here. I do think it looks like Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose are being set up for the next shot at the Women's Tag Team Champions. So, to close the show, we had Randy Orton teaming up with Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Bobby Roode cut that beautiful looking mullet he has. He went back to his normal cut, going up against Drew McIntyre and the Street Profits. This was not a bad match. We knew all 6 of these men are very talented. Even though WWE has fucked up on most of them, right? The Street Profits, their tag team championship run has been disappointing because WWE has no teams in their division. I'm going to say this right now. The number one priority in the WWE draft should be merging the tag team divisions. I don't care about anything else. That should be your main priority. Merge the tag team divisions. We'll talk about that on the podcast tomorrow. All right. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, they're booked as losers, especially Dolph Ziggler. All right. I don't know what else I need to say here, right? And Orton and McIntyre, we already talked about them earlier in the show. The match wasn't anything bad. It was a good match. You know, these two teams were going to tear the house down. It's just that I just didn't care. I didn't care. It was just your normal main event 6-man tag team match. So chaos, of course, unfolded like all these 6-man tag matches have, and then we saw basically all superstars took each other out. McIntyre hit claymores on both Ziggler and Bobby Roode. And then Orton, when McIntyre wasn't looking like an idiot, Randy Orton hits a RKO on McIntyre, pinning the WWE champion. Whatever. The commentary team was like, Randy Orton's pinned the WWE champion. How many times have we seen Randy Orton RKO on McIntyre now? Since this feud started way back in like July, we've seen Randy Orton RKO Drew McIntyre God knows how many times. It's just whatever at this point. And that's how the show ended. Yep, legit. That's how the show ended. Randy Orton RKO and Drew McIntyre, and that was it. So we're going to get Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre at Hell in a Cell. I already told you guys my thoughts on that. If Randy Orton does not win the WWE Championship, I will absolutely slam the shit out of this because the feud should have ended at Clash of Champions, especially with how dramatically McIntyre won the match. All right, but all in all, this was another bad edition of Monday Night Raw. Nothing special happened here. The Mustafa Ali stuff was good. Buddy Murphy turning babyface, I did like that. But other than that, the show was bad. And 2 good segments out of like 11, is not enough for a good show. I'm sorry. I hope WWE gets destroyed in the ratings because I'm tired of the rinse and repetitive bullshit. All right. We'll see what happens with the draft starting this Friday. Sasha Banks and Bayley, that's going to be the big thing this week. All right. And Monday, we also have day 2 of the draft. So, like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast tonight. Make sure, guys, tomorrow on 12 o'clock, I will have a special edition of the podcast coming out. WWE Draft Mock Predictions. All right, we're going to be doing a mock draft. I'm going to give you guys my prediction on who's going to what brand, who's getting called up, who might be getting called down, all that good stuff. Plus, we'll be talking about the Sasha Banks and Bayley feud. So make sure you guys join me tomorrow for that. Thank you to everyone who joined me in the live chat tonight. If you guys watched the demand, thank you guys as well. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that bell right next to my name, Fitz TV, so you guys are not only subscribed, but you guys are notified every time a new video is released. We should be back in our normal studio next week. We won't be in this weird location. Alright, but other than that, guys, thank you guys for the love and support. I did a live tweet tonight, but if you guys want to talk about wrestling, anime, my social media is in the description down below. Alright, the lights are turning off, so I gotta get out of here. Thank you guys for everything, man. Love you guys so much. You guys absolutely killed it in the live chat. I'm gonna get out of here. You guys stay safe and healthy, guys. Don't be like Trump, man. Trump is stupid.